What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Pleeka podcast. I'm Jerome.
And I'm Nick.
And today we're talking about Spider-Man Homecoming.
It sucks.
So as we do every week, we go over a little bit of trivia for the movie. This one I found very interesting. Nick Fury was originally going to be Peter's mentor in the film, with Samuel L. Jackson reprising his role, but then the role went to Tony Stark.
I think that was a good choice.
I mean, it would have been a completely different movie.
Yeah, you'd have Spider-Man like on a plane going, "I'm sick of these motherfucking snakes."
That's a different movie.
Oh.
But yeah, I can't imagine, like, that would have been cool, but I can't imagine what that movie would have been. Because I feel like even, like in this movie, if Peter were to call and be like, "Yo, there's this guy, he's selling guns," he'd be like, "All right, let's go get him." You know what I mean?
Yeah, hop in my Escalade.
Yeah, like my car's got guns, like, let's take him down. But then
I got no problem shooting people.
like I was like, that would have been like, it'd have been so different if that would have been the case.
Yeah, I liked big butts and I like Iron Man in this movie, and I'm not the biggest Iron Man 1 is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
As Iron Man,
As they go on, they get worse.
yeah, and so does his character to me. I know he's a lot of people's favorite.
In this one, he's closer to the Iron Man that we like, I feel like.
Right.
Except for the little times when he's a dick. I'm like, hey, don't be a dick to Spider-Man.
Yeah, but it was funny.
Yeah, but then you kind of learn, like, he's being a dick in a good way. If that makes sense.
Kind of like you on. Never mind.
But we and my next thing right here, we actually have a trivia update.
What the hell is that move?
That's my update move. So you remember last week?
Yeah, I remember last week. It was last week?
Yeah. I said James Gunn said that Stan Lee recorded 4 cameos all in one day, and he wouldn't say what the movies were.
Yeah.
This was one of the movies, and Thor.
This was an awesome cameo.
And Thor Ragnarok is the next one.
Oh.
So we'll get to see. So that means he filmed Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man, and Thor Ragnarok's cameo, all at least back in 2016.
I could care less.
But I thought that was kind of interesting. This next one, this would have been, I think, a different movie as well. Mark Hamill wanted to play the Vulture. Michael Keaton turned down the part.
Oh, that'd have been interesting.
That'd have been kind of cool. I don't really picture him as a bad guy other than Cockknocker.
What about Joker?
I guess Joker, yeah, but like you just hear his voice in that. You never see him, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been kind of cool.
But what about Trickster?
Oh, I guess that's true. So I guess you do see him. I don't know. I just didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
But I think that would have been kind of neat to see Mark Hamill as that. I mean, I would love Michael Keaton, so I'm glad he got it.
It might be neat, but yeah.
I think Michael Keaton. I think it was the best choice to get Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
But if Michael Keaton couldn't do it, I'd be happy with Mark Hamill doing it.
Yeah, it'd be different, but yeah.
So Peter's principal is the grandson of one of Captain. Oh my God, Captain America's commandos. The guy's name is Jim. Yeah, I think the guy's name is Jim Morita. It's the same actor that plays Spider-Man's principal, and in Spider-Man's principal's office, you can see a little picture of Captain America's commandos.
I don't remember him in Captain America.
He's in like 1 or 2 scenes.
He's in that group where they have a black guy, a white guy,
Damien Dark, and then Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
he's one of those dudes. And then the last oh my God, I can't talk. The last bit of trivia.
At least we just started.
This is another trivia update in a way, not really an update, it's the same thing. But all the way back, I don't know, 14 weeks ago when we did Iron Man 2.
Okay.
We talked about Peter Parker being in the end, he saved him. Now we're at the movie where we see Peter Parker.
Yeah, it's still dumb.
I know, I brought that up just because you think that theory's dumb.
And
it's not really a theory anymore, they confirm, it's a real thing. And I like that.
It's a real thing after the fact, so that makes it not really a real thing.
Yeah. But I like that. I just wanted to bring it up again. I figured we brought it up then. We might as well bring it up in the movie.
Yeah, I get you.
And then I want to discuss the comic Prelude a little bit. I actually read this one.
Oh, it's about time you did some work.
And it starts out, you get to see Spider-Man do the things we've been seeing him do in the movies on YouTube. Like he saves that car and all that. And when he's doing it, he's like, "Oh, it's okay. I'm alive. They're alive. Okay." And like he's like freaking out while he does it.
All right.
But and then after that, it basically covers all of Civil War. Again, so I kind of skipped through those little bits because like it's word for word from the movie.
You skipped it?
Word for word from the movie. But then like,
how do you know if you skipped
But when
it?
I got, because I'd look at it like, okay, that's the scene, and I'd go. But then it gets to Spider-Man and Aunt May are at home, and you see on the news that Captain America and Falcon are like enemies of the state and shit like that.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, starring Captain America and Falcon. But they're like, oh my god, like they're kind of freaking out. And then you get to see the scene like the next day when Iron Man shows up and takes Peter and all that. And then after that, it's basically the rest of Civil War. Then leads right up to this movie when he goes and like it literally ends with him doing his little vlog when he takes Cap's shield and all that. So it was kind of cool, those little bits, better than the past couple ones have been.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was kind of.
I wonder why that is. Like, I wonder why. Like, you think maybe it's just your opinion, but like some of them were like good, and then there was a whole bunch where you're like, I don't even care, and then like,
well, cause like Guardians of the Galaxy's one, like they just basically said, oh yeah, that doesn't count. So I was like, well, there's no point reading it, and like some of them would be like it'd be like, oh, you remember the past movie? Like Captain America Civil War I think was just like, oh, we're gonna tell you all the Winter Soldier. And I was like, well, I just watched the movie. I don't want to read it. I want to know the stuff in between, which is like what they've been doing with it.
I don't believe there's in between movies. So,
so you want to rank our movies now before we get into the movies?
Yeah, but you go first.
Me go first. Should I do bottom to top again?
I don't care.
Or should I start the middle, go down, and then from the middle go back to the middle, go back up?
That would confuse the shit out of yourself.
Yeah. All right. So starting at the very bottom, to me, worst MCU movie. Thor: The Dark World. What if it was Spider-Man: Homecoming?
That'd be funny. I'd be like, all right, podcast over.
Thor: The Dark World,
Mm-hmm.
Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor, Iron Man, Ant-Man, Black Panther, Captain America, Avengers, Winter Soldier, Avengers: Age of Ultron. I'm looking at your face. Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
God, you're such a wuss.
Captain America: Civil War, Spider-Man: Homecoming.
This is your favorite movie?
Yeah, it is. I thought it'd be my number 2, and then rewatching it, I was like, wow, like this movie I could watch 1,000 times.
Then why don't you? You never watched it before.
Well, we didn't own the movie.
It's on
It's on Stars now. Maybe I'll watch it tonight. Maybe next week instead of watching Thor Ragnarok, I'll just watch Spider-Man
Or
again.
if that's your favorite movie, because you...
It might be. We're doing this in order, pal. We haven't gotten there yet.
You just said you were going to watch it instead.
Well, yeah.
Are you going to call me Kevin Costner?
I did. read your list.
Easy for you to say.
Easy for you to sniff my balls.
Alright.
Fuck that guy. What?
I heard you, bitch. Alright. By the way, you just said Iron Man gets worse as it goes along, and then you said Iron Man 3 is better than Iron Man 2. So you're fucking retarded.
Well, we're talking about the character.
Oh, okay. Not the...
I mean, the movies are still bad. Both of those are they're on the bottom of my list. Those are
They're not bad, but they're
not, yeah, well,
they're
I guess
not
they're
good.
not bad, but they're not the good MCU
We should
movies.
preface this by saying, just because you're at the bottom of the list, Thor 2.
But yeah, basically anything other than Thor 2 is an okay movie. In my opinion. For you, it's anything under Iron Man 2 or whatever, right? Or Hulk.
Anything above Iron Man 3.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't really like Iron Man 3.
Oh, okay.
All right, so bottom number...
Started at the bottom, now you're here.
Is it 17 that we're on?
Yeah, this is the 17th episode.
Okay, so...
So we've been saying for fucking 17 weeks now that we're watching 17 Marvel movies, which we've recounted probably hundreds of times.
But maybe we weren't counting Black Panther because it hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, that one kind of confused us a little bit. You know, that really bugs me because, like, I don't know if anybody even caught me. No one watches this show. But I do the thumbnails as, like, each phase of the movie. But because we had to watch Black Panther as the second movie in Phase 2, it has the Phase 2 thumbnail.
Why don't you just switch it?
Well, because I didn't make the other ones yet. I make them as we go along.
We should have thought
But I
ahead.
could just switch it now, but I really don't want to.
Oh.
But that bugs me every time I see it.
No one notices.
I do.
Okay. All right, bottom, Incredible Hulk. Then Iron Man 3. Then one of my favorites, Thor 2.
Fuck that movie.
Iron Man 2, Avengers 2, because I hate 2s. Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Thor, Black Panther, Iron Man, Captain America, Avengers, Spider-Man Homecoming.
So what number is that?
5.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Oh, you actually said Civil War this time.
Yeah, I just
Because you forgot to mention that last time.
No, I think I deleted it.
Oh, you're like, I like this movie so much I don't even want to see it on my phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, so do you got a problem with Spider-Man being my number one movie?
I don't have a problem with it. I like it. I think it's.
I honestly didn't think it would be my number one. And rewatching it, I was gonna watch it. It took me 2 nights to watch it, like most of these have, because they're really long, and I, for some reason, wait till like 11 o'clock at night to watch it. But I almost watched the whole thing, and I was like, no, I'll just finish it tomorrow morning when I eat breakfast or whatever. But I really, like, I said this in the last one, but this one, like legit, for sure. I can't think of a bad part of this movie.
No, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I just prefer the Civil War and Winter Soldier stories. Like,
I can see that, yeah. Well, that's why Civil War is my number 2, and then Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is a little bit lower on my list, but it's still one of my favorites.
yeah.
It's hard because it's really hard the more you watch these movies to rate them, because you're like, I don't want to, because like Winter Soldier is like 6th or 7th on my list, but I was like, I don't think it deserves that, but I like the other movies too.
Yeah, well, like, when I was ranking this, which I just did right before I came in here, I'm like, oh, I didn't fucking
Yeah,
rank it.
I already knew what mine was gonna be, but like I didn't put the other
Yeah,
ones
it's
up
easy
here.
when it's one. It's harder
Yeah.
when it's, like, so...
When you're like, I'm not sure about it. Should I bump up this or lower this?
Yeah, so I stuck it between Guardians and Avengers. My thinking was, okay, I like it better than Avengers, but Avengers is really good.
Yeah.
But do I like it better than the first Guardians? Like, which would I rather watch? Like, if
That's kind of how I rate mine. Is like,
So
what if I had to, would I watch this again like tomorrow?
yeah, so I picked Guardians
Okay.
over it, but not 2, because 2 was not as good.
I
That's
love
why I have it,
love
like,
Guardians of the Galaxy
14.
Volume 2.
Whatever.
Okay, so you want to get into the movies now?
No, let's talk about...
Sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's bend each other over and all about holes. Don't throw anything at me. I'll just get Spider-Man: Homecoming, directed by John Watts. The budget was $175 million. It made $880.2 million in the box office.
Nice. I didn't know it made that much money.
I was actually surprised by that too. So that's like up there with like Guardians
I mean,
and Doctor
considering
Strange
it's
money.
like the fucking, what, 5th or 6th Spider-Man movie since 2000?
I think it's the 6th. Yeah.
That's a lot of Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, not all of them are good. I think this is the best Spider-Man movie. I know that's everyone's like, oh no, I hate this one, but I love this. I think this one's my favorite.
The Tobey Maguire ones, I don't like 2, and I don't think I ever saw 3.
Yeah, I've never finished 3 either.
The first one though, when it came out, it was good.
Yeah, I get that, but now watching it, like I think
I haven't now watched.
I've always really I liked the Spider-Man in that, but I never really liked the Peter Parker parts in that.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
And in this, I like both. Like I think this is the
You
perfect.
want Peter Parker?
No.
You
So
want Parker's Peter?
no, shut up. All right, so this is the first Sony MCU movie.
It was
Kind of weird. Like the first thing
seeing
that pops up, and then it has like the Colombian pictures and all that.
I was like, fuck PlayStation.
And then this, I guess it goes into that later, so I'll get into that later. The movie starts out with a flashback right after the Chitauri invasion in Avengers, and Tony Stark's new company, Damage Control, takes Michael Keaton's job, and him and his crew end up stealing a bunch of alien tech they say we could build a bunch of badass shit. And then 8 years later, the Vulture lands in his base with more tech that he grabbed for his group.
Before you get too far ahead.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, so I thought that was cool that they went back to the Avengers.
Yeah, I wish they would have like either explained or changed the years, because they say 8 years later, and that would mean that this movie either takes place in 2020 or Avengers took place in like 2009 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like it really, but like not like this timeline really matters.
Right, that's what.
But like you just kind of assume the movies come out like at the year that they released.
See, I take it
or
as the Avengers came out 8 years prior. Came out when it did.
that's kind of how I think about it too. I know they put out a thing online now you can look at, but
here's what I was gonna say is Michael Keaton's character. I don't know his real name.
I saw it and I was like, I'm not gonna remember this. So I just kept every time I talk about him, I say, oh, the Vulture did this,
Oh, okay.
or Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, Mr. Mom.
No, should I look it up just so we have his name?
No, that's fine. We just call him Michael Keaton.
Oh,
Everyone knows who that
I
is.
thought I just clicked off my notes. I was gonna cry.
Okay, relax and let me talk.
Sorry.
When this opens up, he's not a bad guy,
Yeah, he kind of grows into yeah.
and I don't think he thinks
Do you
he's
thi-
ever a bad guy.
Do you think if he wouldn't have been fired from that job, he'd ever become a bad guy?
No, I don't.
Yeah,
that's
I
what I
don't
was gonna
either.
say. I think they drove Tony Stark.
It's funny. Another movie where Tony Stark makes the bad guy.
Kinda.
That's like his MO.
Well, it's just like we just got done playing Batman. It's like, oh, does Batman need these villains and
Oh,
like all this
yeah.
stuff? And like, yeah, like even though. Sorry.
Oh, way to knock out Peter Parker.
Sorry, Peter. Even though Tony Stark doesn't really take the Vulture seriously,
Yeah.
which is weird because they're like blowing shit up.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get he's like, oh, it's a kid telling me this, but like, there's still the news where they see shit's like going missing and all
I
that.
mean, it must have really been some Black Ops shit. But even though he didn't really take him seriously, I mean, he did. It was him that created this, and you could.
Yeah, well, I guess he kind of did because he does call the FBI at one point.
But he also had a point. He's like, hey, like took a chance out here to spend all my money to get this shit so I can clean this shit up, and now you're taking it away from me. And then Tony Stark's company is making money off the shit that he destroyed.
Yeah.
So like you could see why he would be like, fuck that guy.
Yeah. But then also because like for us, it makes it a little hard because we see Tony Stark's perspective where he's like, oh, an alien invasion came and I saved the city.
Yeah.
I should clean it up too. But then he doesn't think about how he's fucking the underdogs in it.
Right. I don't see his perspective on that. I think he should let other people clean it up to make the money. But he probably just thinks he's helping. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
No, I do. I see it, but it's not the right thing to do. But like in his mind, it's a Tony Stark thing. Like, oh, I'll clean up down here, but then doesn't think about how he's ruining people's lives.
it's cool how, and it's probably not. He probably has no idea. He probably put someone in charge who's doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a cooler way to talk about, because like when they talk about cleanup and shit, usually like Superman, Batman
v
versus
Superman,
you're like
yeah.
roll your eyes like, who gives a fuck? Like just come
Yeah.
on, like just fight each other. You know what I mean? Like
This is another one, kind of like Civil War, where they did what Batman v Superman wanted to do so much better.
yeah, no, totally. All right, that's all I got with that one.
All right, this I actually really liked. I completely forgot that this happened when they do the MCU intro in this. They play the Spider-Man theme during it, which I really liked. Like it started, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, they don't. I mean,
Jeez, we've been talking this long. We're just on the.
I know.
Wow.
Most of these movies don't really even have like like the characters don't have like a song that you think about them. Except I guess maybe Iron Man, but so I thought that was kind of neat.
I was like Iron Man, but now I get it.
So then we get a cool little Peter Parker vlog from all the events of Civil War.
I totally forgot about that.
I really, really like that. Because it's like so different, but it does make it seem like such a kid and like now movie where like if like I became Spider-Man tomorrow, I would totally video the whole thing. Me fighting Captain America and shit. That'd be awesome.
Captain America would kick your ass.
I like too in that vlog part when he walks into the other room and they're like, "What are you doing? Why are you dressed up like that?" And which I really like that John Favreau came back for this. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so Happy brings him into the room and he's like, "Oh, I thought that was a closet. Oh my god, my room's so much bigger."
Yeah. he was really likable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I liked about it. Is like, because kind of like Doctor Strange, where like
he wasn't likable.
He wasn't likable, but like he's the only character in the movie, so it's weird that they make him not likable in the beginning. He's the one character that's in almost every single scene.
Yeah.
So, like unless it's about the bad guy. So I really liked that with this. So then 2 months later, and Peter is waiting to be called on his next mission. He's like texting Happy and shit, and nothing's going down. And then I still laugh. He shows up at school, and Flash drives by and goes, "Hey, Penis Parker."
Yeah.
Would you ever think that you'd be going to a Spider-Man movie and hearing a bunch of dick jokes?
No, but Penis Parker is such a lame cut down.
Yeah.
That's what makes it funny.
Yeah. I like to. Did you catch when they were in class and they make kind of a Flash joke to Flash? Because he answers the question for her. She's like, "See, Flash, it's not good to be the fastest one in the room if you're not the smartest," or whatever the teacher does.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't.
And I was like, "Oh, is that a little jab at the Barry Allen?" So I like that they show that Peter Parker makes his web flute in class. Like they're doing stuff and he's down here fixing stuff and it expands or whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. A lot of the beginning is just him kind of waiting around to be called.
Yeah, which wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, totally. They were just gonna like, "Oh, we got you this one time," which again is like that's Iron Man being kind of a dick. Like he kind of used him,
kind of,
but in a way, but because he's a kid, he doesn't want to harm him.
Yeah, he explains it all when he fucks up that boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peter goes into the alley, undresses, and puts on his Spider-Man suit, and we get a little montage of him helping civilians that aren't really in need, and then we get our 17th Stan Lee cameo.
And it was lame as fuck. He yelled out the fucking window.
Yeah, to a lady, and she was like, "Oh, how you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm good."
Yeah. But yet the scene was funny because he fucking stopped that guy from getting in his own car.
Yeah.
Although, why is the guy trying to jimmy his own car?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I would have stopped him
That
too.
whole part is funny. He's like helping the old lady cross the street. It's weird seeing someone do that. They're in a Spider-Man suit, and then he's like, "Hey," bam, slams the guy's head on. And he's like, "This is my car."
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. And then I was like, "Oh, then
was cool to
Stanley had to ruin it."
It was cool to see him learning on the job.
Yeah.
You know, like even like jumping around, he kept fucking up. And
You know what's the best part of this movie? That we don't hear Uncle Ben's name once.
Oh, because you don't like rice?
No. That took me a second. Because it'd be like he kind of mentions like, "Oh, I don't want to tell Aunt May I'm Spider-Man because like she's been through a lot lately, but like we don't need to know. Everybody knows that's cool. We get through
Take
that."
a hint, Batman.
Do you think? I mean, we talked about this last week. They can't do that in the next Batman, right?
Yeah, they will.
I mean, literally any movie that has his name in it, they're like, "His mom died."
Who's making it?
The guy who made Planet of the Apes, Matt Reeves.
So there's probably maybe an ape will be.
He also made Cloverfield.
You're not helping me.
He makes great movies. I'm telling you guys,
I
vote for the next movie to be the next series of movies to be Planet of the Apes. Comment that down below. Tweet Nick.
There you
I would love that. You know, if I'm the only person that comments on this podcast and I comment Planet of the Apes and I tweet at you, does that automatically make it win?
No, it automatically disqualifies it twice.
Okay, well, I won't do that. So Peter sees a group of men dressed as Avengers robbing a bank, and he goes to stop them. And while trying to stop them, they blow up the deli across the street. I really like that scene. He goes and he's like, "Oh, Thor, Hulk, nice to meet you guys," and like makes them knock each other out or whatever.
Yeah.
That was a real cool scene. And then I don't think I caught this the first time, but when they used that gun and lift him up and slam him down, he's like, "Oh, I'm starting to think you aren't the real Avengers."
I don't think I caught that either.
But that was, there's a lot of pretty funny like little one-liners they gave.
Oh,
him.
he was really funny throughout the movie. Yeah.
I would love if this Fox still goes through to see Spider-Man and Deadpool in a movie together. I feel like that'd be awesome.
So wrong.
Cause just imagine how much fun Ryan Reynolds would have with like just hanging out with Spider-Man doing random shit like that.
It would be interesting because Spider-Man's so innocent.
Yeah, well, because there's an ongoing series in the comics. I think it's gotten pretty popular recently, like the past years. I think it's just called Spidey and Deadpool, and it's them just going on eventually, and it's Deadpool like begging Spider-Man like, "Hey, no, let's do stuff." Like he's getting really annoyed with Deadpool.
Oh, right.
So I think that'd be interesting if they ever got to that point.
Yeah.
So we get return of Iron Man's robot, you know, the little one from the first couple movies that talks to him or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
We finally get to see that again, which I thought that was kind of a cool little nod. They brought that back. And then Happy tells Peter that Tony sold Avengers Tower and is moving upstate. So basically he's just moving into Avengers, the new building that they made in Avengers 2, was it? Or was it Civil War? Or Winter Soldier, I mean.
I don't know anything about that building. I guess, yeah, at end of Civil War they were in that building, right? No, the end of Avengers 2.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was one of the last team-up ones that they did.
The only thing I could think of is that the building that Ant-Man fucking went to?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the one because Falcon was there and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the same building. So Peter sneaks back into his bedroom, and then Ned finds out that Peter is Spider-Man.
And he broke that Death Star.
Yeah.
That's like
How many times
any fucking Lego toy ever.
How many times do you think they had to build that? How would you like to be the guy on set and they're like, "Hey, we need you to build this Death Star," and then like you build it, you're like, "Okay, cool," and then you're watching people film their scene, and the guy drops it, and you're like, "What the fuck?"
Depends how much you got paid.
$10.
Nope.
I really liked the next morning at school that Ned keeps asking his all these questions about Spider-Man, and then we get a little Captain America cameo.
Yeah.
Those were so random, but like
They were funny though.
They're funny.
And the teacher.
Yeah, it's weird. They had that guy, and then I can't think of the dude's name. The guy from Silicon Valley that was the decathlon coach or whatever.
Yeah.
Like those could have been anybody's role, but it's almost funny that they did it in a way too.
Dang, he's the one that called out Cosby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Oh. I always misspell things.
Yeah,
Instead of putting Ned, I put End shouts out, and I was like, "Who the fuck is End?" But Ned shouts out that Peter knows Spider-Man because Liz is saying that she has a crush on him, and then Flash says, "Oh, why don't you invite Spider-Man to Liz's birthday party?" There's a lot of like little teenage drama in this that like made it like a John Hughes movie in a way.
That's funny that you were going to say that because I was going to say this is kind of like 16... I've never seen 16 Candles.
Really? Oh, let's watch all the Brat Pack. You want to do something different? Let's watch all those. We'll be in here and be like, "Oh, God, so they're like in detention."
There's a couple that I wouldn't mind, but like Ferris Bueller wouldn't
Oh,
count.
and then does Weird Science count in that?
I don't think so. Cause
So I was gonna say
that's just
that'd be our
Anthony
connection to
Michael
this
Hall.
is Robert Downey Jr. and all that.
Yeah, I don't think it would count. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I was gonna say it's like 16 Candles, but with a superhero involved.
Yeah, totally. Which I think that's what I liked about it because it was so
different.
unique.
It was different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it didn't seem fake either.
Yeah, that's true. Like it seemed like that's what the real situation would be.
Yeah.
While trying to talk himself into making an appearance as Spider-Man, Peter sees a blue explosion in the distance, checks it out, and it's a weapons deal going down with the Shocker and Miles Morales' uncle, a.k.a. Childish Gambino.
You're talking about when they were going to the party.
Yeah, he's at the party. He finally goes to the party, and he's up there going to make an appearance and sees that blue explosion and goes and stops Donald Glover from buying guns.
Stops Donald Glover from buying guns from the detective from Unsolved.
That's a weird way to put it, but yeah.
You didn't recognize him. I was very surprised at that.
Well, I thought it was. I actually thought it was a different person. I thought. Do you remember the guy from on Preacher last season? That was that one chick's partner. That was like investigating Preacher or whatever.
No.
I thought he was him. So then when you said that, I was like, oh, I guess I was wrong.
I got you.
So I just thought he was a different. They look very similar. So during the chase scene, like Spider-Man's chasing them down in the van, which that's a very funny scene. I think that's also where we
Donald
get the
Glover
Ferris Bueller scene too.
is in this movie for what, 5 minutes tops?
Probably a total of 5 minutes. Yeah.
Very good line there, and I can't think of what it is now. Oh, he's like, I just want to stick people up. I don't want to send them back in time. Is that what he said?
I'm not sure. Should I pull up the scene and you can watch it?
No. I think it was something like that, though. But it was really funny, and even like that solo movie that we talked about last night, he's just got a screen presence.
Yeah. I like to when he's like, I'm not getting
And
into
he's
this.
not
I got a nephew. I don't want these guns on the streets either.
Like, is this a cameo?
I don't know. It is cool. It is cool though, 'cause like for all these years, he's been trying to get the part to like he voiced Miles Morales on like animated stuff, and people were going on. It was tweet hashtagged forever. Donald Glover for Spider-Man or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He really wanted to play Miles Morales, so it's cool that they cast him in this as the guy who's Miles Morales' uncle.
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah, and like they even said down the line they hope to eventually bring Miles Morales into the MCU. Which would be pretty cool. I really hope they do like we talked about this a couple weeks ago. They do like a multiverse thing, and they could bring like different versions, like do like Spider-Gwen and all that stuff. Just like kind of get weird with the movies. I think that'd be interesting.
It'd be weird.
Because Spider-Man, in a way, it's weird because like you don't think about that with spiders, but it's kind of like Flash, where like he goes into multiverses a lot, and there's other versions of him and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be kind of fun. But during the chase scene, Vulture grabs Spider-Man, flies up with him, and then it's about to drop him, and Spider-Man's parachute shoots out, which I remember in the first time seeing that, I was like, oh, he's got a parachute? He shoots out, and then Iron Man grabs him out of the water, and Tony asks him if can you just be like a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man?
That was funny.
I really liked that. And then he's like talking to him, and he's like, wait, are you even here? Are you driving? And he's like, oh, yeah, good thing they got Wi-Fi here. And it's not even him in the suit, which is funny because you thought that was real dumb in Iron Man 3 when he had all those other robots.
Yeah.
But in this, I think they did it a lot better.
They did do it better.
Because it was just one, and like it made sense the way they did it. Whereas like
and he like controlled it
Man.
kind of like.
And what's funny, I didn't even think about it until this point, because it's
that's something I didn't like about 3. It's just there's too. It's like just okay. I get it.
It seems like these movies are heading to Tony Stark not being in them anymore after probably Avengers 4 or something. And I think it'd be cool if they did get a new Iron Man, like if they got Riri Williams is like the girl that's the new Iron Man, or somebody like that. And I think have Robert Downey Jr. be like the Jarvis to the new person would be cool. So I think them doing this in the suit was like he could totally do that.
Well, what's funny is there's got to be someone in the suit, or it's not Iron Man. It's just Iron.
Iron Robot.
Yeah, see, it's just that no one wants to see that.
Yeah, I get that. So Ned calls Peter and has him listen to Flash, who started a chant, and he goes, "When I say penis, you say Parker," and the whole crowd goes, "Penis, Parker, penis, Parker."
It was very lame.
Yeah, but still kind of.
It was funny, but it was lame on Flash's part.
I've actually listened to a podcast with I can't think of the guy's name, the guy who plays Flash in this.
Oh, really?
He's actually pretty funny in real life.
Oh, really? He came off as a dick in this.
Yeah, and this, which I've seen him in some other stuff, and he's totally not a dick in those.
Oh, really?
But I did like too how like they made, because usually like they make Flash or like the bullies in the movies like, a big, like, 26-year-old man who's in high school for some reason.
Yeah.
But this is just an average Joe, which is usually what, like, bullies are like.
Really?
I mean, I've never been bullied, but
Oh.
people that are dickheads, you like. I mean, you're a dickhead, and
knew
you
that was
don't
coming.
look like Hulk Hogan or anything.
Come on, brother.
Oh, you did the impression. It's usually me that does that.
Yeah.
So the Shocker drives back to the Vulture's base, and him and Vulture argue. The Vulture fires the Shocker, then the Shocker threatens and backs, and the Vulture shoots him with and it disintegrates the Shocker. And the Vulture goes, "Oh, I thought this was the anti-gravity gun." And the other guy's like, "No, that's over there."
That was fucking hilarious.
What's funny is that guy, I don't know his name. I only know him as the guy that's not Tom Hardy. Because he looks just like...
Is that the guy that's not Tom Hardy?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because it's funny, because I was like, God, that guy looks familiar. And then, like, but there's never good, like close-ups on him or whatever that I could tell who, and I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but, like, he looks really familiar. He kind of looks like Tom Hardy.
What's funny is I was watching Prometheus. That's the first thing I saw him in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, is Tom Hardy in this? I don't remember him seeing this. And I looked him up. I was like, oh, no, it's just the guy looks just like Tom Hardy.
Well, because you just showed me that. What was that preview you showed me? That
I think it's called Upgrade.
but you're like, this guy looks just like Tom Hardy.
Yeah. Which would have been funny if they didn't kill him off and then, like, Venom's in this universe and then they got two guys that look just like each other.
Wow.
People might get confused who's Venom. So Peter smashes the alien tech that he took from them with a hammer, and then him and Ned take the glowing piece to the school lab, but then Vulture's crew shows up, and Peter shoots a little tracker on the new Shocker's foot. Which, did you like that guy you liked became the new Shocker?
Yeah, I did. I like that guy.
Yeah, I do too.
Bukeem Woodbine is his name.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, not really.
So the Shocker drives...
I like him in Tupac, too.
Tupac 2, is that the sequel to All Eyes on Me?
Yeah, he comes back as a ghost.
Ah.
And there's no eyes on him.
The Shocker drives to Maryland.
Maryland. Where is Maryland at?
Maryland. I can't say. You know where he drove. You watched the movie. And Peter decides to go to the academic decathlon in D.C. You know what I think of every time I hear academic decathlon?
No.
Billy Madison.
Wow.
Every time. So then Peter and Ned take the tracker off the spider suit because he ends up getting a call from Happy. He's like, where are you going?
Yeah. That was cool when they took it off and then they took off training.
Then, they hack it and they take off training wheels protocol.
Which is a good name for it.
Yeah, that's a total Tony Stark thing to call it, too.
Yeah, and then later, there was something, and it was called Training Wheels, right?
I don't remember. Maybe I wrote that down as it happened, I don't know.
Okay.
So instead of going swimming, Peter goes after the Shocker and is surprised when Karen, the spider suit AI, starts talking to him.
That was cool, too. His suit was really cool.
What's really cool is, I can't think of the girl's name, but the girl who voices Karen is Jarvis's wife in real life. So it's kind of cool that they're both, like they're AI people.
Do you think later she'll become something?
In the comics, Vision did create his own little family of, like, they look just like him. They got a little girl and a daughter and a wife and all that. So they could
have
do
a
that.
Dog, too?
It's possible. I don't know. I never read it. I just saw the cover, but so then Peter fails on using the suit because he doesn't know how to use it, which I really like that scene.
She wasn't very helpful for being...
Yeah, do you want shocker webs? And he's like, no, why would I want shocker webs?
What was it? Instant kill mode.
Oh, yeah, instant kill mode. It's, no, I don't want to kill anybody.
That was funny because his eyes got all creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, I like that because like, them just teasing that in this, like, that gives you infinite amount of things you could do in the next movies with, like, getting new abilities. But yeah, that was a real funny scene. So then Peter goes after the Vulture, heisting a truck, and then gets knocked out inside the truck, and then wakes up inside the damage control vault.
Do you think Vulture was like, I'm gonna knock you out?
No, because Spider-Man just jumped and knocked him. He probably thinks he's just locked in the truck. So while waiting for the doors to open, Peter and Karen train and talk about Liz, and then Peter tries to find something useful in the bag that Vulture is trying to steal, and he pulls out an Ultron head, and he's like, that's useless. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah. And then he finds out that the glowing thing is a bomb, so him and Karen try to override the lock, and he rushes to the decathlon.
And him being stuck in that warehouse was actually funny.
Yeah, I like, they're doing all these, like, it's like a montage of things happening, and he's like, how long has it been? And she's like, 35 minutes. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
That's when he goes and gets in the bag.
37.
Was it really?
I think so.
Oh.
Only because I thought of dicks.
In your mouth. While in the elevator, the little glowing device blows up and breaks the elevator, so Peter has to climb up the Washington Monument to save his friends. Did you notice that when he's running to there, he runs past the same little water area that Captain America kept running circles around when he met Falcon?
No.
Oh, you didn't realize that? I
Well,
thought that was
I mean,
kind
I
of cool.
knew
It's the
that-
same thing.
Yeah, like it makes sense, but I didn't notice.
So then I like how after he saves them, they almost do the generic Spider-Man kiss,
Oh yeah, that was funny.
and then he just
Instead,
falls
he
down.
falls down, yeah.
And then was it, do you really know Peter Parker?
Wait, and what was her name? Karen?
Yeah.
Did you ever think of Goodfellas when she said her name was Karen?
No, not once.
How about now?
I remember who Karen was in Goodfellas.
It was the wife. Remember when I said if he?
Oh,
says
he says
or
Karen
yeah,
a bunch of times.
and then he's like Karen, Karen. So
No, I
kept
never
thinking
thought about that. That's funny though. So after that, Peter gets detention because he skipped the decathlon and all that.
Which is that a good reason to get detention? It wasn't even on school property.
Yeah, he should have brought that up. But then we get another Captain America cameo, little video inside the detention room.
And then he started to talk about sex ed at the end.
Yeah, I wonder where that video is going.
Ugh. Isn't Captain America a virgin? Oh, not anymore. I don't think.
Why? Who do you have sex with?
Agent 13.
Did they really? Was that like a deleted scene that I missed?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
It's
remember.
Captain America does Dallas.
Or does Agent 13?
Either way. That's her
Um.
nickname, Dallas.
So then, while talking to Karen, he finds out that the suit records every
Karen?
interaction, and he finds out that Aaron Davis, aka Miles Morales' uncle, and then he goes and you get that funny little interrogation scene there. But I like when he's looking back through the footage and he's like, I'm Thor," and does all that shit.
That was funny.
That's pretty funny. So yeah, he goes and interrogates Miles Morales' uncle, Aaron Davis.
yeah.
Charles
That,
Gambino, Donald Glover. He's got 17 names.
yeah. I liked how he's like, you need to get better at this.
Yeah. He goes, "Hey, he's like, what? It's not supposed to sound like that. Karen, stop.
Is it? Were they making fun of Batman?
I think, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then I liked too at the end of that when he's like, all right, that'll dissolve in 2 hours. He's like, what? I got ice cream in here. He's like, you deserve it. You're a criminal.
Yeah. He's running away.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. So then this should be one of your favorite parts. Spider-Man goes to the ferry, and we meet Scorpion, a.k.a. Nacho from Better Call Saul. And then after attacking the weapons dealer, one of them radios the Vulture, and he attacks Spider-Man.
Is it my favorite part because
Because of
Nacho's in
Nacho,
it?
yeah.
Yeah.
You like Nacho.
I love Nacho.
Do you think he'll be the villain of Spider-Man Homecoming 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I would love him as the villain. I mean, we've all seen him. Everybody's played Far Cry 3 and completed it, right?
We would think so. I
I-
mean,
I
anyone
haven't.
with a fucking brain.
I haven't finished it. I don't
He's
thi-
not
I
even the
don't,
bad guy.
I don't even think I really started. Oh, spoilers.
Well, he's a bad guy, but he's not like the boss.
Oh, really?
He's just on the cover because he's cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. Now I don't even play the game. Tony gets mad at Peter because he breaks the ferry and all kinds of shit goes down. And then
Which he didn't break shit, by the way. He was trying to fix it.
yeah, it's not his fault that the gun blew up.
Well, he did tape it down with his webs, or however.
Yeah.
Web it down. I don't know.
But then Iron Man takes Peter's suit.
Which is kind of a dick move.
I like too at the end. He's like, honestly, me taking your suit was kind of it was the push you needed to go after the Vulture, right? That's what we'll say.
Yeah, they have a good tit for tat, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like he's like, you don't even listen to me. He goes, who do you think called the feds? And like, but it was a very daddy thing for him to do. Looking out for him. Because he's like, you never listen to me. And then he like says all the shit that he was texting Happy. So obviously he was listening.
Yeah, he's interested. He
just wasn't giving him anything.
which is funny because I don't know, maybe every single Iron Man movie, he's like, oh, my dad never listened to me. My dad doesn't love me.
Well, he did compare himself to his dad.
And now he's got his own son, Spider-Man. So
Yeah, does that mean he's a better father because his son became Spider-Man instead of Iron Man?
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
His son got a better movie.
On my Fitbit, and he tells me I need to walk.
You gonna walk around while I keep talking?
Is that an option? Because I had
No.
done that like an hour ago.
No. Peter comes home and Aunt May says that she knows about him sneaking out and leaving detention and all that shit, and then he tells her that he lost the Stark internship. And then at school, Peter asks Liz to homecoming, and when he gets to her house, he finds out that her dad is the Vulture. Which I hit like that first little part. He's like, oh shit, walking through the house, he's all nervous. Like she's like, oh, is that a corsage? He's like, yeah, here you go.
I told you what I thought the first time we saw it in the
Yeah.
theaters.
Do you want to explain to the people?
I was like, oh my God, he captured the family. I never thought that her dad would be white.
It's a miracle that not every movie surprises you after you think that.
Well, it was one like little split second decision.
You're like, holy shit! Oh no, he's just
you know,
a vulture.
I mean, you know how you think of like 8 things at once, and like unlike Hess, I keep mine to myself. And then
you saw the guy. You're like, oh my god, the Loch Ness monster's real.
no, I see him and I'm like, did he really? Oh my God! And then I'm like, oh my God, he's the dad. Like it just took me a second, but it made it creepy as hell.
Yeah, we get that really, really awesome like drive to the prom, which the vulture doesn't even realize that until they're driving. He's like, oh yeah, he's got a Stark internship.
Not until she.
Oh yeah, he knows Spider-Man, and he's like, yeah, I really do. And he's like, oh yeah, I've heard your voice somewhere before.
Maybe you can call your buddy Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa.
But so then, like, as she gets out, he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a little, dad talk with Peter, and then tells him he's gonna murder him and everyone he loves if he doesn't stop going after him.
The only part I didn't like about that whole scene
Mm-hmm.
is when he said he'd kill his family dead. And I was like, well, how else would you
What's
kill
funny is I heard that and I was like, well, you could have probably worded that better.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna kill you dead.
Rewatching this movie gets me really excited for the Flash movie. If it's the 17th directors to be put onto the Flash movie,
Right.
but if this
It's like Han Solo.
actually goes through, because the writers of this movie are going to write and direct the Flash movie, so that I have high hopes for that now that they're on board.
Oh, you're like an ant.
So
Don't ants have high hopes?
So while leaving the prom, Spider-Man gets attacked by the new Shocker, and Ned helps him take him down.
Take him down?
My God, take him down. And then Peter makes Ned the guy in the chair, and then he tracks down. He left his phone in the Vulture's car. I thought that was kind of a cool move.
Yeah.
He's like, where you tracked my phone? Like, he has to, like, right when they got in the car, he already had that all planned out to do that, which I thought was pretty neat.
Right.
So then Ned calls Happy and finds out that the plane is leaving today. So then Peter finds out that the Vulture is going to go rob Tony Stark's plane. Which I was like, when he's robbing it later on, and the guy's like, oh, we just need one of those boxes and we'll be set for life. And then you look in there's like billions of boxes.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, that'd be worth a lot.
Yeah.
I like to, there's a lot of Easter eggs when they're inside there too.
Are Easter eggs worth anything?
Oh my God, I just want to pinch your nutsack so hard it starts bleeding. The Vulture knocks his entire base on top of Peter Parker and then heads for the plane. And then I really, really like the scene of Peter trying to get the building off of him.
Yeah.
I remember in theaters, I was like, holy shit, what's going to happen? Like,
It's like when all that shit fell on Jon Snow.
yeah, it was kind of a lot like that.
Yeah.
And then he, like, rehears Tony in his head going, like, I forgot the quote now, but basically, if you only need the suit, then who are you?
Yeah, nothing without the suit or whatever.
Yeah, we forgot it, but you know the quote. But he hears that, and then he gets out of the building. So the Vulture uses his little purple things that he's got to get through the wall or the bottom of the plane or whatever.
Handy.
Yeah, like I need to go pee, just right through the wall in the bathroom.
You could literally just open the door.
Yeah, but I could walk through the wall instead. Oh, you know what I could do? Put that on the wall, like set it up big, and I could just sit on the toilet and like watch TV in here. I could take a bath and like play
Everything
Far
would be
Cry.
purple.
That's true. That would bug me. So he uses purple shit to get inside the plane, and then Peter notices that the plane is heading for buildings. So he uses his webs to steer the plane, and then ends up crashing it. And then him and Spider-Man and the Vulture have one last fight, and then Peter saves the Vulture from burning up after he slams back down on the floor. Which I thought that was really cool and shows like who Spider-Man is, kind of like he's fighting the guy, but when the bad guy's about to die, he saves his life.
Because it's his girlfriend's dad still.
Do you think if he wasn't his girlfriend's dad, he would have saved him? I think he would have. I mean, because either way, the guy's going to prison for probably life.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have saved him. You think Deadpool would have saved him?
No, Deadpool would have like thrown some dynamite in there or something. So at school, Peter runs over to Liz and says sorry, and he finds out that they're moving to Oregon because her dad doesn't want her around for the trial. And then Michelle becomes the new captain of the decathlon, and then she's like, oh, my friends call me MJ.
I don't get it. Michael Jordan?
Yeah, Michael Jordan ends up marrying Peter Parker.
Oh.
They have babies together and all kinds of shit.
Is she Michael B. Jordan? Or just Michael Jordan?
No, that's a different person in the MCU.
Okay.
So Happy meets Peter in the bathroom, which was a very weird scene.
No, the best part was with that kid.
That kid washing his hands.
Yeah, and then he looks at him.
As he meets him in the bathroom and says that Tony wants to meet him upstate at the new Avengers building, where Tony reveals the Iron Spider suit and then offers him a role being an Avenger. And then Spider-Man's like, nah, bro, I'll see you later. And then we get a cameo from Pepper Potts. Well, that was pretty cool that she showed back up again. She hasn't been in it since, like...
Iron Man 3.
Was she was in Iron Man 3? Yeah, so Iron Man 3
Yeah,
then.
remember, it was her fake...
That's true, the
that made you,
fake out, yeah, and she started the whole fucking fake out trend.
Which... They haven't done a fake out, have they? In a while?
No. I think they just did that in Phase 2, because we're on Phase 3 now.
Oh,
That was
no fake outs in 3?
Nah, they got rid of that. But so after that, Peter comes home, he finds his suit on his bed, puts it on, and then Aunt May walks in and goes, "What the fuck?" And then the movie cuts to credits. I really like that part too.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite scenes. And then we got some end credit scenes. The Scorpion asks Vulture if he knows who the Spider-Man is. Like, you think if I knew who he was, he'd still be alive, or I'd be in here or something. I'm Michael Keaton.
No.
I have to tell you who I am because my impression's real bad.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It's usually I'm Nick, but...
Now I'm Michael Keaton. I'm Mr. Mom, Batman.
Okay, so
Vulture.
what he said was, if I knew who he was, he'd be dead already.
Yeah.
Nacho.
Libre.
Nope.
Better Call Saul.
God, you're stupid.
And then our last end credit scene was Captain America, and he talks about patience and how sometimes waiting for something can be very disappointing.
Yep.
That was awesome. I remember reading in the theater, we're like, oh my god, this is like fucking taking forever. Is it gonna be worth it?
Yeah.
And then he shows up, and you're like, are you they're gonna, like, they trained us to wait for end credit scenes in every movie.
Yeah.
You go see fucking, like, Brigsby Bear, and you're like, oh, where's the end credit scene? And then they're like, haha, you waited, you pussy.
Basically.
Which is pretty funny. Do you think the end part when he goes, how much more of these are going to do? Do you think that was Chris Evans actually asking them? Or do you think that was, like, part of the thing because in Captain America's character?
It could go. It could have been him
I
just improvising, too.
I almost wish it was Chris Evans being like, how many more of these?
Yeah.
I wonder if they have any of those that they didn't use in the movie.
Probably.
Because that'd be pretty neat to see.
But wasn't he in, like, a wife beater or something that time?
No, I think he was still in the Captain America suit.
Oh, I thought I'm picturing him, like, in a white T-shirt or something.
That's just in your fantasies.
Could be.
You want to... what do we... Oh, we usually talk about our favorite scenes. So what's your favorite scene of Spider-Man Homecoming?
I want you to go first, and then if you pick mine, I'll pick another one. Because I have two.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
I think mine's either...
No, pick one, dick.
Well, I'm going to discuss it, and we'll figure this out together. I really like the vlog scene in the beginning
That's not either one of mine.
of seeing him do that and his reaction and all that. Or... what would be my other... Maybe...
Stanley.
No, not the Stanley scene. Although I do really like that little montage bit, but Stanley kind of ruins that. Maybe, like, his... when he first talks to Karen and does all that suit shit...
Oh, then we have completely different.
I think I'm gonna go with the Karen part and all that, like, including him being in the damage control base, like that first interaction, everything with Karen, I really liked.
Okay, but you gotta. If I have one request in this podcast is that you have Ray Liotta go Karen.
All right, I'll put it in when you asked me about it in earlier.
Okay.
And then when this part, we'll be like, yeah, we talked about it.
My favorite scene is when Michael Keaton drives him to Homecoming.
That was gonna be mine. I remember watching it, but I was like, oh, that's gonna be everybody's.
I watched it twice because I watched it when you did too.
Yeah, I really really liked that scene, but I purposely didn't pick it because I knew I thought a lot of people would.
Oh, and then my second favorite is his Ferris Bueller scene.
Oh, I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who is your favorite actor?
Michael Keaton.
Oh, really? I'm going Tom Holland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I like Spider-Man a lot.
I liked him a lot, and he. And
I mean, I was
it's
if
kind
I'm
of a
if
pussy
I'm
pick, to be honest, because like he's kind of obvious because he's the star.
well, no, I think the obvious pick. Oh, you're saying to me. I was gonna say that. Yeah. Well, I feel like I put this at my number
Who
one.
else would I be talking to?
No, I thought you were saying picking Michael Keaton would be the pussy pick.
Oh, no, of course not.
But that's probably the most we talked about pussy pictures on this podcast.
Hopefully.
Maybe. But I feel like if I made this my number one movie, I should choose him as my best actor too.
Yeah, we're supposed to pick someone who's
he's
not the star, but
he's
we
part of
both
the
pick
reason.
Yeah.
If I didn't pick him, I'd
probably pick MJ.
Oh, I was gonna pick the Shocker.
He was cool too, because he kind of changed a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd pick Nacho, but he really didn't do anything.
Yeah. Although every time he showed up, I was like, oh, I remember in the theater he gets knocked. I was like, really? Like I was so excited to see this in the fucking movie, and he gets knocked off, and then credits scene. And I was like, oh, that was worth it.
Yeah, he was evil as fuck in the end credit scene. His
Yeah.
eyes all fucked up.
I wonder if they do use him as a villain, like what his scorpion costume will look like.
Probably like a scorpion.
Because that could look real dumb, but so could most of these things. So like it'd be interesting how they go with that.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine it in my head actually. That looking good.
So do you want to watch the trailer for Thor Ragnarok right now?
Not really.
You say that every fucking week.
Well, then why do you ask?
I don't know. All right, we move the pops.
No.
Move the pops. All right, everybody, we are hitting play for the Thor Ragnarok trailer right now. Never mind, I didn't have the volume up. All right, so now we are hitting play on the Thor Ragnarok trailer right now.
So much has happened since I last saw you.
Remember that part? That's not really where the scene takes place.
So that's still pretty fresh. And then I went on a journey of self-discovery, where I met you.
I'm so excited to watch this.
I'm pretty.
We mention this every week. Never seen Thor Ragnarok. So.
No, except for Black Panther, it'll be the first one we're not rewatching.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
So that my notes are gonna be a little different for that because I'm gonna be first time taking everything in.
Maybe you should watch it play.
Maybe.
I kind of forgot she was in it.
And you and I had a fight recently.
Did I win?
Jeez.
No, I won. Easily.
Doesn't sound right.
Oh, that's true.
I did see a GIF that they posted. It'll be interesting seeing in the movie where the Hulk's standing in the room and you see Hulk butt.
Really?
So just everything about this movie I'm so interested to see.
We need to stop her here and now to prevent Ragnarok, the end of everything. So we're putting together a team. Like the old days.
That fucking chick's in everything.
Yeah, I know. It'd be really cool to see her and Thor and Men in Black.
Yeah.
He's a fighter.
It looks so weird.
I know.
I'm not a queen or a monster. I'm the goddess of death.
This is probably one of the best trailers that they've put out for a movie. I feel like.
You think so?
Because I think it's really cool.
I'm definitely excited to
We're
watch
the
it.
same, you and I. Just a couple of hot-headed fools.
Yeah, same. Hulk like fire, Thor like water,
Well, kind of both like fire.
but Hulk like raging fire, Thor like smoldering fire.
I think the Hulk is honestly what I'm most interested to see for that movie.
Which is funny because like it took them so long to get.
To get him right, and now I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to see that movie because of him.
I don't want to see it because of him.
Well, I want to see because Thor too, but like I'm interested
No,
because
it's
he's
the third one.
this fucking guy. But I'm interested to see it for both of them. But I'm more excited for Hulk.
I get that.
But I think that's especially
I
because
just want to
Mark
see Chris
Ruffalo.
Hemsworth with short hair.
Wow,
Just kidding.
because he looks dreamy.
Yeah.
But all right, so that's it for this episode of the Pleeka podcast. We only have one movie left, and then we're on to Infinity War. That'll be weird. And then we got,
And then we have to pick.
and then we have to find something new to watch. So we'll probably watch Planet
I
of the
do have
Apes.
another suggestion, which
I think we have a bunch of suggestions. I think because no one's gonna comment any suggestions because no one's a fucking team player. Put it on a spin wheel like.
Alright, we get it. We could do that. Let's do it right now.
Planet of the Apes. Should we?
Do it right fucking now.
Oh, you gotta write it all here. I'm gonna
Pause
stop.
this.
I'm gonna
motherfucker.
Pause that and then we'll do it right now. We'll figure it out. All right, so we went, got our spin wheel, wrote down all our movies on it. Should I say what everything is, every category before we start?
Yeah.
Okay, you don't gotta shout at me. So we got Major League, Michael Keaton, Rocky, Tom Cruise, Nightmare on Elm Street, View Askew Universe, Planet of the Apes, and Indiana Jones. So we each picked a good amount of movies, and then an actor. So we have to watch all the Michael Keaton movies or all the Tom Cruise movies, and we tried to make it different genres. We want to kind of do. We don't want to only do like comic book movies.
Right.
Although I thought about putting down all the old MCU movies.
That sounds horrible. Why'd you go counterclockwise?
I don't know. Does that matter?
No, it's just weird.
All right, so I'm gonna spin the wheel.
Which I already call bullshit.
Do you want? We'll take turns spinning, and whichever one we get twice, we have to watch it. Make this last like 15 minutes.
All right, that's cool.
You think that's actually fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
I wish I wouldn't have thought of that. You know the first one's gonna be Planet of the Apes. No, it's not. It's gonna be your movie. I'm gonna make a guess
You're gonna
right.
spin it counterclockwise too, aren't you?
Well, yeah, you spin towards your direction. I betcha my spin, it's gonna land on Indiana Jones.
Okay. Spin like a nutbag.
It's not very stable.
Rocky.
Okay.
So Rocky's in the lead.
So
Technically.
we'll start them both on the same spot. Give it.
Oh, so you're trying to make sure Major League doesn't get picked.
Oh no, I'm just saying if I started there, you should start
Hold
there
the
too.
bottom.
All right. That makes my fingers very nervous. Oh! Major League. One Rocky, one Major League.
All
Bing,
right.
bing. All right. Please don't be Major League. Please don't be Major League. Please don't be Major League.
You
Come
have
on,
no one-
land Rocky, land Rocky, land Rocky. Oh my God!
What is it? That's something helping with the spinner there. All right, so we're watching all the Rocky movies.
That's hilarious. I voted for that twice.
And I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Well, that means I gotta take fucking
So
notes.
okay. So yeah, it's true. We made a rule. Since I took notes
made
for all
a
the
rule.
MCU movies, he has to take notes. Whoever's movie it landed on did that.
So that's
So I think we keep this spin rule like this. We erase since that was your movie. Erase Rocky and we don't have the blue one in here.
I'll just.
Most of them look black anyway. So just write down what you're. Do you want to wait till after?
What do you
Rocky?
want me to erase it with? My dick?
Your finger.
I don't-
Just
I don't know.
erase it, and then you wrote down what the next possible thing will be, and then after Rockies, we'll spin it again with these same movies on it. So what's your next thing instead of Rocky? Beverly Hills Core. Beverly Hills Cop. So that's another potential. But all right, so the next set of Pleeka podcasts is going to be all the Rocky movies going from Rocky 1 through all the Rockies to Creed.
So that's 6 Rocky movies and Creed?
Yeah, 7 total. The next 7 weeks of this podcast will be all about boxing.
After Avengers.
After Avengers, yeah. So we still got 2 more weeks I was talking about this shit. But that's cool. I'm glad we actually have that set. I was thinking about that today. Like, when are we going to figure that out? But I think this is the fairest way instead of us discussing it.
Yeah, and it wasn't Planet of the Apes, so that's a plus.
That's a possibility.
Yeah, but if we do 2 in a row, that's fine. Then I can handle it.
I'm really looking forward to when I make you watch those movies because those are great movies. Most of them. All right, so thanks for watching the Pleeka podcast. We'll see you guys next week for Thor Ragnarok.